All right, everyone, here we are for a broad category technology conversation. In this case, we're going to have a conversation about automation technologies. So, what are automation technologies? They're ways for you to bring in goods to substitute for labor. And so on the surface, it's one of these things that you'd largely only be interested in doing. You'd think whenever you have just an absolute need for the labor, but that's not really true. So first, we should always keep in mind what sort of jobs are being sacrificed to automation. Virtually every single time that you're bringing in automation, it's because you're removing laborers. Laborers, for those of you who are unaware, are they're basically the industrial version of peasants. They get paid absolutely nothing. I mean, look, they're literally making a lower standard of living than peasants. And so laborers, removing them from the equation for you is net actually usually going to be pretty positive for you, because if they revert back to being peasants after you've unemployed them, it really doesn't hurt you that much. You don't need them to be working in a job that really isn't doing anything, and they're not getting paid a lot. It's hurting a lot of things domestically to have just infinite laborers running around. But it also is beneficial because it's going to increase demand on the goods that are being used to replace automation. And you're like, Walker, why are you excited about replacing? You're increasing demand for goods, young fella. And you're right. I am increasing demand for goods, and that's a feature, not a bug. Because increasing demands for goods means that the people who are currently working in that field are going to be paid more. But it also means that if I want to just make more money, if a lot of my demand is concentrated in a couple of things like tools and coal, because I have an economy that's largely automated, then I can know that if I want to increase the profitability of a bunch of my industries all at once, then all I need to do is build more tools, right? If I've already got an economy that's dependent upon tool use, then if I need to make my economy more efficient, I build tools. And so for that matter, that's kind of why I drive home building an industrial loop around tools and steel. There are lots of different ways to create an economy that is dependent on a smaller but controlled number of things that you can produce. But tools is the easiest bottleneck for you to control, and the easiest way to control that is to just use as many tools as possible. If you're using as many tools as you can without causing your tool use to crash your economy, then it means that it's very easy to improve the strength of your economy 9 times out of 10 by just building more tools. And that's a wrap. Boy, that automation, it's one of these things that's on the surface, it's very complicated, but once you start digging into how laborers actually work and understanding that they're really only slightly more employed than peasants and really only slightly more employed than peasants, and then what IGs they associate with, they are helpful there, because they are going to more be associating with trade unions, but they don't have enough political power because they have absolutely no wealth to really matter at this point in the game. And so don't be afraid to automate if it removes the labor and makes you a peasant. That sometimes is net positive, and that it remains true basically throughout the entire game. All right, that's Walker, and that's what I can't believe that was only 4 minutes, but this is the third take. All right, Walker, bye.